Everything I say here is a story. I'm just making it up. None of it is true because there's no way it could be true. Back in the day in the 60s, I was involved with bringing up a motorcycle club. We had 5 acres. We had a real nice place to go. We partied all the time. We traveled. We had a lot of motorcycles involved. We were driving all over the state around Illinois, around the Chicago suburbs and down Peoria, those areas there. We ran across some motorcycle clubs, or I should say, chapters of motorcycle clubs, and we've partied with everybody. We saw it all. Amen. We experienced it all. There were a lot of doctors involved because of the pharmaceuticals that they bring along. I don't know, but let me tell you, everything I'm saying is not true. But anyway, we're having a party up at our place. We invited somebody to come up, a club to come on up to our place because we're cool. We've seen it all. We can handle it. These guys come in. First thing I noticed is they got like rabbit feet hanging all over their vests. Each one of them had a bunch of rabbit feet hanging all over. So I thought to myself, hey, that's pretty cool for good luck. You know, you got to have some rabbit feet, some kind of good luck charm hanging on you. So that's cool. Hey, so we get the night rolls on. The whole place is full of smoke, of course. Had to open up the side door, the garage door, the front door. Had the doors wide open. It was a nice night, but the smoke that was in the room and in the building was incredibly filled. But all I know is that next thing I know, I'm standing there and I'm kind of like it's windy inside the building, if you know what I mean. You ever been there where you drink so much all of a sudden you're kind of moving around, and rocking because it's windy, it gets windy. Anyway, some of the guys start a fire out in back, so we're going to have a nice little roast, something they're going to cook a hot dog or something like that, and I was really getting hungry. And then these guys said, hey man, we're going to go get a dog. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I was dying at that time. I had the munchies and everything. So I'm saying, all right, yeah, bring me back 4, man. I want 4 and a couple tamales. They laughed, They got up in a pickup truck, and then away they went. Meantime, we're back there partying, and as far as I'm concerned, the wind is blowing me left and right and forward and backwards, man. Just, you're standing there, and all of a sudden, after about 30, 40 minutes, it's just your truck comes pulling back in pretty fast, rolls right by, goes over by the fire, and they reach in there, and we go out there, and I'm thinking I better go out there and get me one of my hot dogs, So I'll go out there, and lo and behold, there ain't no hot dogs, but they got this here German Shepherd there, and it's in the back of the truck, and it's dead. So I'm thinking like, oh no, I thought to myself, they hit the damn dog with the truck. They didn't know what to do, so they put the dog in the back of the truck, and they brought it up. Well, it turns out that no, that wasn't what it was going on at all. They had this fire going, and they had a nice little pit that they brought along with them, a way to, like when you put a pig on or something and rotate it over the fire. Well, they started taking all of the fur. They started gutting this dog. Then they started fighting over who gets to eat the tongue of the dog. Now I'm standing there, like I said, the wind's blowing, I'm kind of out of my mind, I don't know where I'm at type of thing, But all of a sudden, I started not getting so much windy. I started kind of going like, well, what's going on here? My brain started cooking. And they're undoing this dog. They're taking the fur off of the dog. And some of them are yelling, hey, don't give me, like a drumstick, they want a dog stick. They're talking, you know what I mean? Then the tongue's coming out, they got the head off, and then they put the head without the tongue, they stuck it up like on a steak thing, and they put the rest of this dog with no fur now, and they got it on a rotisserie, and they're cooking it on this fire. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I've seen everything. I've been around a lot of motorcycle clubs. I've seen it all, man. I've seen it. Everything would close on and everything would close off. But man, I'd never seen anything like this before. So I started kind of sobering up. I think I was in shock because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to have any dog, man. And then I'm looking around where these guys are messing with this dog, and I look on their colors again, on their vests, and those aren't rabbit feet like I thought. Those ain't rabbit feet at all. They're dog feet. They're dog paws. And they were like little tiny, they have like a little chihuahua doggy paw over here, and then they have like a Great Dane, gigantic dog paw over here. So they had dog paws. And it turns out somebody in their club got killed. They ran out, a dog ran out and killed them on a motorcycle. So in their honor, what they do when they go partying is they go kill a dog, and then they eat the dog. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there as all this is starting to get in, man, into my brain a little bit. I feel like I'm getting sober, even though I don't know how this could be, because I'm really wasted. But I stopped waving in the wind a little bit, and I started walking backwards, kind of muzzling my way back in through the crowd. A crowd of people waiting. Hey, give me a paw, give me a doggy bone, or something. And I'm getting back there, and somebody said, "Hey, man, you're gonna enjoy some dog, man. You got to get up in front." I said, "Hey, man," I said, yeah, I'll be right with you, man. I'll be right with you. As I kept on going back, I snuck out the back, and then I got my bike. There's my bike with all these other motorcycles, and I know I can't start it because they'll be mad. They say, "Hey, somebody's escaping and don't want to have no dog." You don't want to be uncool, right? So I get my bike up, and I push that bike all the way down this driveway we had, a real long driveway, out to the blacktop. And then from the blacktop, I push it for 2.5 blocks to make sure I get out of the way and out of sound as far as I could get. I fired up my bike, man, and I got the hell out of there, man. I don't know what to tell you. The next day, I decide, me and one of the other brothers who escaped, decided, hey, let's go take a look at what's left of the dog, what's going on out there. So we go on out there, and lo and behold, we're hearing some weird noises. We drive right on a motorcycle right up the path into where the hell we were at by the fire. And there's all like the remains of the dog are there. There's a lot of dog fur, not too much dog meat, but dog bones are around. There definitely wasn't a tongue. And then there's this dog head laying over there. It was halfway up on a stake or whatever. But anyway, okay. So all of a sudden we're starting to hear these things like bumblebees going by our heads. And we're going like, whoosh, and then we'd hear boom, like that. And we said, what the hell was that? And then it'd go whoosh, boom, and another one. Hey, somebody's shooting at us. Here, it's the neighbor whose dog they killed. They killed the neighbor's dog. And that neighbor, he's mad. Now he wants to kill us. And then they had that guy with them, with that at a club. He was like the poet. And they would have him recite a poem on how they killed the dog. How they snuck up on it. Like the night was dark, the moon was yellow and all that kind of stuff. Then me and my buddy are getting shot at. Then, man, we turned around, got on our motorcycles, fired them babies up, man. There was nothing but dust behind us. We were gone. Now remember, this whole story is pretend. It never really happened. I will disavow all knowledge. If anybody asks me about it, I'll say I have no idea what you're talking about. But let me tell you something. It was one strange night. What's all I can say.